the ones that are not doing anything.
Who are not like
be careful
literally
of people
doing-
who tell you, I have a vision, the plan is to want to. That time
But
he's not
he's
doing
just
anything, he's just
sitting.
sitting.
just
Stay
sitting.
away, stay far away.
Or if he says I'm waiting for God's time, oh guy, you are just sitting. You're not doing you don't carry bricks. You're just sitting.
Yeah.
Hi guys! Welcome to the Love, Light and Life channel by your girl Kuda Melissa Pinyan, aka Dora Grace, aka God's very own. My sisters, as you can see the vibes. We're drinking Fanta. We just ate Nando's because why not? Why
We are the
not?
girls.
Today
Who
we
eat
had a
Nando's.
prayer walk. It was amazing, and we thought, okay, let's swallow sheep.
Yeah.
And then we'll join praise and worship. So Nerabuahela, it's really a random video, but we were just talking and I thought I should put this out. The discussion was what we wanted men as Christian girls.
This is the topic of discussion. How was the prayer walk? The Spirit of God moving.
She went from
What a
But that's what we were talking about though.
Yeah.
We were talking about how Haribatebo, we don't want pastors and prophets.
my husband, if you're washing, be careful. I don't know these women. I want you. You are exactly you are the man for me. Don't listen to these women.
Yeah. Like it said, just a random video. We are just saying, thanking for the people out there.
No, but like it's
This girls haven't said
No, am I paying?
Muruti.
No, but
Okay,
we are
we're not like we didn't
no.
mean it like that.
Jokes aside, it's all there's anything wrong with Baruch. Good hella.
You don't want to seem like
Nah, personally,
stop you from getting girls.
it won't.
If your calling is Muruti, go for it.
You
That
know.
one girl will really collaborate.
Getting a wife.
If she's the one for
Getting
you,
a wife.
if she's the one for you, she'll.
But I'm not the one, son. I cannot be the one.
I'm not the one for you.
No. But why don't you guys want
Musa start.
a pastor, prophet, apostle, what
Elder
don't you want?
leader, deacon,
No.
Like a lot of Asha, bo I play the keyboard.
Yeah.
You know, media, sound engineer.
Background girl.
Because now for me, it's
She
just
grew up- she's a
I'm a
pastor's kid.
pastor's child, so I see these things firsthand now,
Yeah.
and I know the pressures that come with being a pastor, and I see how it can take a toll on my parents. Good, they're trying to be active parents in our lives, but at the same time they have to run the church, you know, and they have to give the brethren priority. They need help with something. He has to show up. You understand? Yeah, there are times where he puts us first, like, no, but I am with my children today, so I'm not going to be doing that. He will send someone to do that. But you get it? Make he has a life of his own, he has a family to take care of also. So just go to the pressure of trying to run your own family, doing work, and then running the church also, spearheading everything in the church. It's a lot of pressure, and I just don't want it for myself, to be honest. And I don't want my children to be PKs also, because I know in as much as there are blessings, the battles are on the same level. You're fighting battles that sometimes you have no idea of, you understand? And yeah, the covering and the grace is there, but it's hefty. And if you're not steadfast in your faith as a PK, you can find yourself ish.
I think it's the children aspect of it, because my best friend, she's a PK. So it was just how, even when growing up, you always knew, like, hey, wana Muruti. So it was always that wana Muruti thing, and I just don't want my kids to hate me, basically. Because imagine on the day of my child's birthday, mama is getting married. Obviously, I have to be there as their Muruti, and it's just, it's strenuous things like that. Maybe I overthink, but it's just.
Are we being carnal, guys?
Maybe we are.
No, I don't think I am.
Not for me. It's more of being carnally minded, I guess.
For you.
Because it is her calling. We
because-
know it.
Yeah,
is.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
She's being kind of minded because I tell you, it's her calling. She's
the
fighting.
mother of pastor's wife.
I get that.
The star is on your
Yeah,
head.
Pastor, it's not me. Oh, hella. I've had the experience of just being close to different men of God and women of God. So I know the pressure and that day-to-day kind of life. Yes, it's really a nice thing to be in the presence of God and to serve the Lord. But then there is this pressure where the body now and then I've also had an experience that past year like coding prophet and everybody, and I was
Flex
like,
someone's baby.
God, I know no, I'm not flexing. It's not something to flex about, because at that moment, okay, after hearing so many prophecies, hey, oh mama Ruti, oh my, and then those people, at that moment, it brought a whole lot of confusion. So I'm like, the things of God doesn't have to come with confusion.
Yeah.
So that's the first things first. So, the confusion in the midst of being asked for marriage, because I don't know if I yes, it is my calling. Because it's not like how le mamuruti o mamuruti o khona go tsa muruti mongwe le mongwe. There's that particular muruti that you are supposed to to get married to gore o khone gore calling ya gago le calling ya gago le khone go supportana and all that.
Yeah.
And just for the perfect will of God. So not that
Unless
yeah, unless
no, but I understand your reason. Hey, this girl is out.
I have a feeling okay, I'm still waiting for that particular person. Yeah? I see him for as long as it doesn't come with confusion, it doesn't come with me having to think a whole lot of stuff first and all that.
Yeah.
That's the person you've been waiting for.
Papa, I think it's not supposed to come.
No, I don't know. Now, for me, this is just something I want, but I'm not sure if it's something I need.
Yeah.
Because it's something. It may be something you want with just your human mind, but God knows what you need. It's the same goes for physical preferences. I've matured to a point where I'm like, okay, I'll have a list and I'll write to God, I want this and this and this. But I'm open to God's works, because I know like I always say in this channel, God's ways and thoughts are higher than my ways. So God knows what He will need in the long run. But honestly, I do not want a prophet, a pastor, a what. It's not something I desire. That one God will have to tell me in a serious, clear vision.
If He tells me, I said, God, I'd rather be a police, because I'd rather be Paul than be a police. You get it?
I think, but I also really want a godly man. Like, it's not even a bad man. It's not because it's like I really just want a guy who really loves Jesus. Like, outside of the borders of church. I just want someone who really loves Jesus. Like someone we can talk about, someone who can fight spiritual wars together. And it doesn't really matter your position in church. Obviously, when you have grown, you know that you have to serve in church. So that one is a given. But I'm not sure about being a pastor and all that. And I just want, honestly, I want a best friend. Like, I really want someone someone I can have fun
We should
with.
be able to do fun things together. That's
That's the thing about men of God. Most of the time, we tell these guys, they don't know the love language, guys. They are always strict. It's always hallelujah.
So that will be point number. That will be point number 2. Like, I think besides a man who loves God, number 2, we'd want somebody who's exciting to be with.
They forget that before you were a man of God, you're still a man.
Yeah.
Like, don't be that little boy that is in you. Let's take him out. Let's play.
There are times where you you are a man of God, hey? But then when it's just you and I,
Yeah, don't come to me with tongues.
no, bruh.
You can't do that. We are together. We are on a date.
Yeah.
Come to me with tongues, but in a romantic
in a
fun way.
Don't be balance.
Balance.
So if you're watching, like, we really just want somebody who has balance.
Balance.
Like somebody you can crack jokes with. Somebody who is smart, guys. Guys, I learned something about myself. I am so weak to people who are smart. Like that is my vulnerable point. Like when I have a smart, like a conversation with a smart person, I just leave that one and I have to take a shot. Oh my God. Oosh. He doesn't love me, so it's nothing, but I felt it because that's just like me. So I really want somebody who, outside of just like being a godly man, who can have like really deep intellectual conversation, who can challenge society's norms together with me, like who can actually like dissect issues with me,
And challenge you. It's not how you challenge, you go into depth and talk about this thing, my opinion, your opinion, how you see it, and then you get it.
Oh my gosh.
That's it. I'm coming.
Yeah, I think that's very important. And I think the other thing that I really well, for me personally, I like
maturity.
I like a person who can really like take care of themselves, like neat. Like this
I
is a
should
small
smell you
thing.
from there. Daya.
This is an important one. It's very important.
When you enter, I don't need to be open my eyes.
Smelling like bar soap. No, you can't smell like bar soap.
Buy cologne, girl, so we can smell you. You're a strong man. You're a man of wisdom. Don't fear.
Sometimes, even though we have our preferences,
Yes,
there
yeah.
are sometimes when God can make you to meet your own partner in a state it's not the kind of state that you have been asked for.
There has to be growth for both parties.
You guys, those mongo not like that.
Yeah.
Because we're supposed to be helpers.
Yeah.
So, because think about it. A wife is a helper.
Yeah,
But this is a hygiene thing. This one is hygiene.
The thing is, Motata won't be smelling that bad, It's just like he's just smelling of soap and dawn.
He doesn't love cologne?
Wait, cologne is expensive, my dear. But no.
In the midst of all our ambitions.
That yes. The wife is a helper, but not with certain things. Some things are given.
Wow.
You were saying?
No, you know your standards, girl. You know. Yeah, let's give Jennifer. You were saying, yeah.
No, in the midst of all our ambitions, yes, we have the kind of man that we want, but the package may not come as kahain senga thing. But then, Oscar level hello boring ya mikita kita mangkanya kita moring. The man has there are those guys who want this person but then you can tell by the heart and the action this person is really coming up, is willing to level up to a standard. If I try to take him from here to there, he will reach there. He's not willing to.
Oh, the ones who are not doing anything.
Who are not
be careful of people who tell you, I have a vision, the plan is to want to. That time he's not doing anything, he's just sitting. Stay away, stay far away.
Or if he says I'm waiting for God's time, guy, you are just sitting. You're not you don't carry bricks. You're just sitting.
Okay, now I gotcha. And I think the other thing I actually agree. By the way, the change we're talking about, we're not talking about the change of the the heart. We're talking about external things that don't really matter, things that you can fix, Sinyana, you know. We're not talking about somebody changing a cheetah like what that one is not your that's not your project. So but I also like really just like people, yeah, Lori.
I get. So Monna,
Yeah.
you must always find him in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
You need to find him in the presence of God. You need him to find him abereka.
Working.
Yes. You must see something. We're not saying be at the top already, but you must see the way. Yeah.
Maturity wise har tsana ko gore go reason a kgone go nna e re nako tse modimo a reng come let's just reason a kgone go reason se mo tareng ke re baby ka ntere ja nga bare na no lane ke ipotsa gore ga ke gore mo no gore at the end na tota a go bona I don't want to marry a headless chicken.
Wow.
And most of the time we tell
I think that one matters.
Yeah.
a headless chicken
Because he's the head of the family. If he's the headless, which direction are you pulling us in?
No, I want stability.
Yeah.
Stability, like, you know.
you must be a man with a vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and a mission to carry, and also make sure that you work towards the fulfillment of that.
Yes.
The
Lord will provide.
The Lord will provide.
He'll make a
And we
way.
find that most of our Christian brothers,
And yes, he will make a way, but do something.
most of our Christian brothers, especially when about calling, the reason why you become dependent on church. Church is not something that you should be paid for in the first place.
Yeah.
Like getting a salary from
expecting a
church,
salary,
you
yeah.
shouldn't be expecting that.
Yeah.
You must be able to work and provide for yourself. Proverbs it teaches you
Yeah, you must work.
Yeah.
Not laziness.
You cannot harvest what you did not plant.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and I think also besides that, I think a man's character really matters. I feel like
Number one.
we have like a lot of Christian guys that haven't allowed God to really transform their hearts. Like honestly, now I really want someone who's just a kind person, like a person who's good. Like you can see that a giver. I want like someone who knows how to think of others before they think of themselves.
Yeah.
Because that is the life I aspire to live. And so I think some people, you know, that church goers. Be careful of people who are church goers. Everyone in church is not in the same level. Like some people are still growing. Some people, you know, have been there, but somehow it's like it's not entering. I don't know. So be careful of that.
Okay, there are those who they allow themselves to be transformed by God. And then after being transformed by God, they transform themselves to be holier than thou.
Yeah.
Not only holier than thou, they also transform themselves to that extent of just being decisions gore ke kgang ya gore ha go buiwa le bongwana guys you need to gore go supe gore go ha ere ha o itasta go do re sta go golla sa ke sa re be aggressive and bossy and all that, but gore ere ha o bua so re me go ha
Be humble but be stern when you
Okay, I'm very curious. I know this is something that is biblical. We're not asking questions, but what do you think about submission?
I agree with it totally.
Yes.
Because you know what the Bible doesn't say submit to men. It said submit to your husband. I think that's where we miss it as women. It's gotten too much into us. I didn't say, nah, I want to be a boss lady. I want to be independent. I want when I'm outside, you call me with respect. But when I enter my house, I remove that high heels and I become lower than my man. You are the neck. If the neck is not able to support the head, the body is going to dysfunction.
Yeah.
The kids won't understand that there is Papa and there is Mama.
This whole 50-50 thing,
I'm not for it.
I am not a feminist in that, well, especially in the setup of family. You know, I believe like the reason why there's men and women, there's a plan. There's a plan that God had for us. Men have their own power and women have their own power. And honestly, I got to understand the Bible. God really thinks highly of women, and you can see women are really wise. And I feel like there's something that my pastor once shared back in Russia that really impacted me. He said, God specifically told, because it says like, women submit to your husband, and husband love your wives, like as the Christ love the church. So you see, it must work together. And I think the problem with this generation, it thinks of submission as something that is bad.
They think of it as
slavery. But tell me, if a man really truly loves, if he really loves, will you abuse?
You'll be gentle.
You'll be gentle with you. And you see, it's there in everyone. Even you watch, even you powerful feminists, you know when you're with your man and he treats you right, you just why go? You say yes,
and men thinks proper if you're not against him, because if you're against the man, he's also ready to fight.
Yeah, you see,
he will push you to
their
the
pride
wall.
is easily hurt.
I feel like men, you see, when women that are big, women that take up space, they intimidate men, and men don't like that. So in the family setup, if he feels like he's competing with you to be the head, so there's a lot of friction. There's no peace.
Even the kids get confused.
It becomes divided because they think of like, okay, Papa's saying this, Mama's saying this, who do I listen to?
Yeah. So I was even driving to the point, the reason why God put it that way is because God knows that women are wise. Like women are really wise, and women have intelligence. If it is not under a certain control, like then it's like there's no direction with it. Women are like women. If you read Proverbs, that you see how God thinks highly of women. That one, and it's natural for us to love. That's why God didn't tell us what our women love. It's natural. And then He told men, men love your women, because for them, they don't. It's not natural for them to love in the way we want to love. That's why God specifically told them that, because they know that is not entirely their strength. And even us, God knew that it's not really our strength to submit, because we are wise. We know. So it's like God is so smart. If you choose to see God's wisdom in these things, you really see God's wisdom.
Take for example another Proverb 31 we all aspire to. Get to know that kind of woman.
She was a businesswoman. She was everything.
Yeah, she was a businesswoman.
She was everything.
And because of that, because of the submission that she had, towards her husband, that is the one it made it. The man
was praised.
The man was praised in all
for the woman,
just because of the woman. So the power in which we carry.
I want to be that woman that my husband looks at me and says, "That's my wife."
That's my
Not hey, she Patricia. I don't want that. I want to when he looks at me and he's like, "Yeah, I made the right choice."
But you know when the danger is, men in this generation, they don't understand what submission is. When they think of submission, they think of you're my slave, you know. They think of these small stupid stuff like you wash for me, you clean for me, you cook for me.
There's a wash machine.
That's what they think submission is, but it really isn't. Submission is a thing of as a woman I have my own opinions. I have regarding certain situations or discussions more like being. But as my husband and you are the head of the household, I trust you enough to make a wise decision. So even though I feel like we should do this, but whenever you feel like we should do this, I put my opinion aside and I choose to stick with you and the decision that you make, and I'll support you fully in it. That's what submission is.
And then also, even if we submit, guys, mostly yes, so you feel like, okay, I'm the head, so whatever decisions is final. Yes, you are the husband, you are the head. I get it. But be open to learn. Even your wife. Remember your wife as your helper.
It's a partnership. It's not a dictatorship. It's a partnership.
Kind of thing.
We become one.
You don't just wake up and make decisions on your own. You have to run it by your wife.
You have to come to me and say, Magwedi, Kanki. And then I say, okay, Ragwedi. And then we communicate because there's a head and a neck. The body parts are our kids. They are looking up to us to make decisions for them. And if the head is doing things, the neck is just, the neck is just, you know, there's no order.
By reason of us being husband and wife, he says we are one. So that means even my opinion in a way can be helpful. Or you can offering ready at that moment. Yes, reset and then make a one common decision in marriage or like, okay, you're the husband, you always take all the decisions. What is my duty in your life? Because I'm supposed to be your helper.
That's now, because I heard a lady saying there's a difference between submissive and subservient. Subservient is when you're just when the man says this door is black, you can see it's not black,
but you say yes, sir.
But we become colorblind and you say, oh Gaia, it's white, it's black. You know, you just go with whatever he says. But you have to understand, you are his wife, you're also a woman of God.
You're helping
if
him
you can
also.
see he can't hear with your ears, with you speaking, pray to God. The Holy Spirit will.
This is why you need a husband who, before who submits to God before he can direct you. There should be that, you know. And so sometimes there's a disconnect up there. So even if you pray to God, will he even hear?
If the man is not like this with
last week. Oh God, you go to church. What are you talking every Sunday? What are you talking about?
I was about to say that before you get into marriage, make sure that you guys become equally yoked. Oscar, if you know you are for church, make sure you go for a church.
Not a church goer.
Not a church goer, but
the one who understands.
Who understand the mission and the vision of a church. And then if you know
But you know, it's
be
tricky.
equally yoked.
I know of couples now where they are married now and they are both in the church and you know they are serving God, they both love God. But in the beginning, when they first started and was dating, it was the woman that was in church. She was, you know, a servant of God. And then the man was good. He wasn't necessarily living in the world. Good. He was a gentleman. Good everything. Good he didn't have a relationship with God. You get it. And that's what it is. If the man is willing to learn, and to receive Christ, then it's not a problem.
John 3:16. Papa, we know that one. It's famous. You can't just quote it. For God so loved the world. My dear, what about other Bible books? You can't just be quoting one thing. I feel like girls, we see the red flags. It's just that we ignore them.
You think I can't
has your physical characteristics.
like, just because he's looking good, like, they're pink, they're looking
But he
orange.
keeps saying the same thing. When you talk about speaking in tongues, he's not getting you. When we say let's pray together, he's like, I prayed at home. So you pray once a day? Wow, Johnny. Wow. What about half day devotion? You don't do half day devotion? Wow.
Love and submission, I feel what it settles it.
You know, it settles it all.
The man loves
It's
you,
in you.
and then when naturally you submit,
automatically.
and then in you submitting to me, and I'm not submitting. He's not going to make a decision without running it by you.
If he feels very comfortable
like
with
this.
you, and he doesn't feel like you're making noise for him. I'm not saying I won't make noise. I'm loud, as you can see. But if he can say, okay, this lady, when I talk, she listens. This lady, when I say something, when I'm crying, she takes time off of her busy schedule and she takes time to listen to what I'm saying. He's going to be drawn to that. Because even if you look at couples, older couples, the mothers, even if they have a very vocal characteristic, when she's with her partner, my mom is one person who's like that, she's very vocal. But when she's with my dad, it's like, you're switching up on us, baby girl. Why are you acting shy all of a Sunday? You know, she comes down, she puts that, the big man.
God is going to build that.
True. He must be gentle.
Be gentle and all that.
He you should be one that understands
so
my
for
boundaries.
Definitely.
Because
there are
now I have a
boundaries
lot
even
of
in
boundaries.
marriage. You know that there are boundaries in marriage.
If I tell you at 11 o'clock I don't talk to men, remember me. I will put my phone on don't disturb. Don't start saying wajora marebo hokumpian. No, I told you my boundaries. I told you that I'm a hot-blooded human being, and I told you my boundaries not because of you, but because I understand myself that I cannot be seen with you in public at night. I cannot talk to you past certain hours. We cannot go on evening dates. We cannot be going to each other's house and I can be sleeping over. I told you these boundaries and you said you're okay with it. Oh God, carry your cross and let's walk.
That is a role for a boyfriend and a girlfriend.
I get.
Not for a husband.
Not for a husband.
Get that.
It's before you get
married.
Yeah.
So
You must
also
understand
see,
the
you guys were trying to build. I'm learning a lot from these girls. You know, some of these things I'm speaking, I'm like, God help me to submit because your girl can. You know, it's not easy.
Like
When
you were saying,
know
as women, we are here.
I think you know what I think the key is. Just find somebody who's higher than
you. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's
Who's keeping you humble.
Who's gonna keep you humble?
Not maybe that's the reason why it's been.
Because now naturally I'm going to judge.
Exactly.
I personally, I can't date someone who
That's
can't
so
speak
me.
proper English because not
No, but say
you will see it as if
it's a joke.
it's just a
Only
joke.
joking.
But the thing is, I struggle with speaking Setswana, so we won't be communicating. Not just be clowning you and say, I will not say it like that. Like a vocabulary here. You will think that okay, this one because it's an English medium, she thinks she's better than me. It's not the case. I don't know Setswana like that. I'm a proud Motswana. I can speak Setswana in form of communication. But there are people who can speak Setswana. No, I need to know who I'm choosing because at the end of the day, I have to be able to honor and respect you. Now, if I can't see you in that light, it won't go anywhere.
No, that is the key. That's the key.
I need somebody higher than moi. Because myself originally a boss lady.
Yeah.
I have my own standard. How and then standard is you know?
That's
Mediocrity, not for moi.
It's either you marry up or you marry down.
Yeah.
You're already somewhere in life. When you marry someone, it's either they take you up
Take it, yeah.
or
At this
take it
rate,
down. And now I'm not going
have
down.
wash
If it's not like this,
and microwave. How am I going to warm the food?
please, I'm not meant for the struggle.
There for the spring.
Banyana was soft like. No, that is also because of the way we were raised.
Yeah, that's true.
But like I said, I also believe what Jennifer said. There's also wisdom to see where you can just suffer just a bit for the future. Just a bit. Yeah, but anyway, guys, that's what we wanted to share with you today. Because as we can talk, or we can talk.
Last one. You know the danger is. I've been thinking about this. Going back to marrying pastors, guys. Then you find a guy, he's just serving as a keyboard player, you love each other, you get married, it's nice, you are a praise and worship singer, and then 10 years, 15 years into marriage, 10 years, 15 years into marriage, then God says, my son, you are a pastor. Hey! I said, God,
He's going to catch you there.
my God, why have thou forsaken me?
Catch you there.
No, because if he loves me, he wouldn't do that.
Why? The same way we have standards, we are at this level, so we don't want somebody who don't support us. If you find your guy in a keyboard player in a church, spiritual growth is also you guys are going up together. So let it go up.
I go with him, but not that.
No, this one she needs. God will soften her heart, guys. It's yours, but
It's not a thing of softening the heart. It's a thing of God. I've seen it firsthand. I've lived in it. It's enough. It's enough. God, just relax.
And it's very funny. Most of the time,
They're coming directly. They are coming your way.
Not more.
Why?
Nayo.
Guys, I can't wait to show you what we look like in like 5 years time. I hope this YouTube channel will still be around.
Yeah.
So y'all better like, y'all better subscribe, y'all better comment. Tell me what you guys think.
And share with your mother, your father, your dog, your uncle, your grandmother. Yeah.
Anyway, you guys, today we had an awesome day. We had a prayer walk. This video we ate. Now we're gonna wait for rehearsal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a lot of work editing this video because your girls, they were talking. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this content. Like and do the things. So we see you next time.
Bye.
Choose wise.